Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, Earthlings, wherever you may be on planet Earth. I'm still here for now, and I haven't been arrested by the FBI. Although they did come down here today. They came running all the way down the pontoon. I was a bit worried for a minute then, but they leapt into the water and they swam after a guy on a jet ski who looked a lot like Al Capone. So I think I'm all right there. I'm in the clear. What does everybody make of archetypes? Archetypes. Do you ever feel you've been labelled and put in a box and called a white, middle-class, racist, and uneducated racist just because you don't like social climbers, liars, hypocrites? Yeah, it's terrible, isn't it? And it's the kind of hurt and pain that can't be unfelt. You can't even misremember it, no matter how hard you try. It's terrible. So just rest assured, you are not alone. Don't be labelled by anybody. Anyway, fuck that shit, silly cow. I don't know what she's talking about. So today I did the other side of my deck. Trimmed the windows a little bit, and it doesn't look very impressive at the moment. But that was a lot of hard work, and there was loads of that mud stuff underneath. In fact, I nearly fell in the water. I was in flip-flops and it was all wet and it was muddy, and I thought, whoa, I'm going in the water. So I've got these great big rubber mats that are incredibly heavy. I'll take my first vino of the night. Oh. Get a load of them, alright? I bought them years ago. They've been fabulous. It's a different kind of rubber to this one on the back deck. And the paint I used on it, I'll move out of the wind because I know it drives some of you crazy. Yeah, it's very, very heavy rubber, but the paint that I used, with the sun and everything, after about 2.5 years, it just flaked off. So, and I can't paint it when there's dirt, oil, or loose paint on it, or the new paint will come up. And they've got this really new, expensive stuff. You can see there on the back deck, totally different quality paint to that. So, and I've also had all of this slot up again, and I've been trimming the windows and filling and painting, and the top, and I've got tomorrow to do boat again. So I've been quite lucky, because the thing is, when you've got a boat, it's not just money, it's energy, it's time, it's inclination, and to not give up on it. And I really, really, really appreciate you guys. One lady said today she wanted me to have a thank you button, and I don't want that, I don't need it. So I'm going to tell you a story about my last boat and a guy called Bruce Jordan, and that is his real name. I don't know if he's still alive. He was a way bit older than me and Graham, and he was at the boat next to us in the boatyard. Fabulous guy, sterling, absolutely bloody sterling. He was lovely. He was from Nottingham, him and his missus Marge. And when we bought our last boat, Far Ben, which was a 1940s harbour launch, she was exactly the sort that would have gone to Dunkirk, but she never did. She was made just as the war ended. And she'd been a gentleman's yacht, and then the people we bought it from, it's quite an amazing story actually. I was pregnant with Ben, heavily pregnant, and little Sammy was tiny, she was about 2, and we'd moved back from Portugal from having been on the run, and I'd phoned the chief constable and I'd said, you know, am I wanted? And they'd said no. And we were sleeping on a mattress in Graham's mum's house, bless her. We had nowhere else to go. We came back with about 20 quid and 1 carton of fags, with nothing else. Oh, and a van and a jet ski and a load of really toxic, very large spiders, which apparently over the 6 years we were there, they invaded the neighbourhood. Oh, they were bloody massive. That's another story. Anyway, where was I? So yeah, we needed to find somewhere to live. So I went to Brighton Council first. I thought, I'm going to apply for everything, just everything. And I thought, well, I'll try council housing. It's very unlikely, especially in Brighton. And I went to the housing department, and there was a lady who, English was not her first language. She was very, very, very black. and she was wearing a Muslim outfit, but not the face covered. And I'm not making this up, and I can't believe anyone at Brighton Council put this lady on the front desk of the housing department, because talk about asking to make people angry. It's a bit like me being in Spain in broken Spanish and saying to some native Spanish person in broken Spanish, you not got good enough connection to Spain, right? Because that's what the lady said to me. She said in an accent, you not got good enough connection to Brighton, okay? And I said, but I was born in Brighton. I went to school in Brighton. I've been kind of Brighton's most wanted. I've been all over the fucking newspapers. Nope, she wasn't having it. Now, she was a very nice lady, but I could see other people who'd been in there and they'd been shouting. They didn't like that it was someone who English was not their first language. It was incredibly broken, and the way she said it was so rude and so insulting. Anyway, you know me, I just laughed and thought, well, it was worth a try. We are effectively homeless. Anyway, I'm trying to find somewhere cool. So I sat about. Eventually the council did actually send a social worker or something round, and I said to her by then, no, I don't want a council house because I feel I'll be taking it away from someone else who needs it. I said, I've made a decision, we're going to live on a boat. And she said, I'm not making this up, she said, don't do that, make Brighton Council provide for you. If you get a boat or a bus, you will be relinquishing them of their responsibility. And I thought, that's a terrible thing to say. The government money is for people who need it. I'm not going to force anybody to, you know, and it's not the council's fault that I'm in a pickle. I thought, sod it, we'll get on and sort ourselves out. Anyway, my mum said, I can lend you £1,500, £1,500. So I set about looking for a boat that was ideal, and I was about 6 months pregnant by then, so I had 3 months to go. We went everywhere, couldn't find a boat, really expensive. And one day, I'd had enough. I was sitting in the bedroom with my mum, and I just burst into tears, and I had a copy of something like Boat Owner on my lap. And I swear to God, the page just fell open, and it was a text advert. And my mum was saying, look, we'll have to think of something, we'll have to think of something. And I said to her, shush, 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 there's a 36-foot harbour launch, £1,500. No, that's right, it was 5,000. It was for 5,000. I said, £5,000, that's the cheapest I've seen. And it was an 01273 number. It was a Brighton number. So I rushed to get to the phone, and I dialed the number as quickly as I could. I thought, please God, don't let it have gone. It's bound to have gone at that price. And it was an answer machine. And I said, I'm ringing about the boat. I want to buy the boat. And the girl was there, and she was picking the phone up and trying to shut the answer machine up because she was so anxious to sell the boat. And the first thing she said to me was, there's something you've got to know about the boat. It's not £5,000. I've dropped the price to 1,500. I couldn't believe it. It was amazing. It was like from God.
But
anyway,
to mention, you're not allowed to vote if you live in a boat.
No, well, I'll deal with all that's all politics. I don't care about that. She was called Gemma, and she'd been living on Farben on the Thames, and they'd brought Farben down to Brighton Marina. And I think they were thrown out of Brighton Marina because they weren't doing any work on the boat, and they get ticky about that. So they'd gone to Sussex Yacht Club, both fabulous establishments. And I hope the wind's not bothering. I need a bit of wind. It's so hot. I said, can we come down and look tonight? And she went, no, I'll see you tomorrow. I promise I won't sell it to anyone else. I went down the next day. Fantastic boat, but it had about 3,000 holes. It was a wooden hull. It was double diagonal mahogany, and because it had been out the water for a long time, it had shrunk. The wood had shrunk, so I mean, it would have sunk. And actually, some people sink wooden boats to get them to puff up, but I didn't have time to do that. And anyway, I bought it there and then on the spot. And she said, you've got to become a member of the Sussex Yacht Club. So we did all that. Lovely guy that was the secretary there, and an even more fabulous bosun. If you are watching this, Bob the bosun, he came down to visit us in Gib about a month ago. Wonderful guy. Anyway, so there we were with Farben, and we were in the boatyard for 14 months, and I had to fiberglass, we sheathed to him fiberglass, I had to fiberglass upside down and work my way from the keel up. And we had this neighbour, Bruce Jordan, and Bruce never stopped criticising me. Every day he'd get up, he'd say, haven't you started work yet? You're so lazy. Get under that boat. What's the matter with you? Oh, look at the mess you've made of that. Oh, I bet you wish you hadn't done that. And he drove me crazy, actually, to the point where I said to Graham, I'm beginning to really hate Bruce Jordan. Anyway, he spurred me on and spurred me on and spurred me on. And if it wasn't for Bruce, I'd never have done it. And I did. I was so proud. I mean, far better, I earned my stripes on that boat. This one's hard enough, but that one, oh my God. And when Benji was born, I was back under the boat. I couldn't fit under the boat, actually, when I was 9 months gone. I was too big. And then I was up a ladder fitting new windows, and I had to go to the hospital. Benji was born, and I was back at it the next day. I had to, because we had to, you know, got to get on. And yeah, Bruce, when there was a whole row of us, they called us Death Row. They thought we were hopeless cases, and Far Ben was gorgeous. I'll put some video and stuff up of her. I did her in Guinness colours, black hull with a cream top, with her little brass portholes and gold stripe all the way round, and a little gold. She was snub-nosed like a submarine. She was lovely. And I did her up inside like an antique shop in Brighton Lanes. I got dark green carpet. I got an off-cut from a golf club for about tenner, and it was really expensive carpet. And I did all the inside antique brass. Oh, she was lovely, and the kids really grew up on. I think you probably have seen some video of Far Ben. I think Graham's put some up. So anyway, Bruce Jordan. When we all went in the water, we all got a mention in the magazine from Bob the Bosun for a start, congratulating all of us. And Bruce Jordan started teasing some of the other boat owners, and he said, see her, she's a fucking hard worker, that girl. He said, I've teased her relentlessly for 14 months, and she did it. She did it. And I love Bruce. Very sadly, his wife died with a heart attack in the night one day, and I hope he is still going. So if you're watching this, hello, you miserable old git. I'm on to Project 2, and I used to tease him and say, he used to say, you and your husband, you're nutters. I said, one day, real people's lives will be in our hands. We'll have a passenger vessel. And he said, I bloody well hope not. And here we are, 12 years at the Dolphin Safari. But, I mean, the authorities are watching. We do take it seriously. We're not messing about with that. So, anyway, that is the story of Bruce Jordan. And, if he's not with us anymore, I bet he's watching me now going up, oh, you've fucked all that up, you haven't done that properly. It's funny, isn't it, the characters that you meet as you go along in life that keep you going, and you guys are keeping me going, because normally what happens with this boat is I'll break my back all day long, family come home, and I go, look, look, look what I've done, and they go, yeah, great. And it's kind of lonely. So it's really nice to have the comments of encouragement from all of you, and it. I mean, if nothing else comes out of this, and we hope we're going to get some good results soon, don't we? But if nothing else, it'll look smart, and well, I'll be on Graham's channel. He must have received a few more letters today. Fingers crossed. See you below.